Hey, you guys hear me?
Mike, they can hear us now too, and they'll be able to see us in a moment. Hang on.
I think you might need a tweet still.
Yeah, I just did.
Wow, I'm sorry for doubting you, Jeff.
Yeah, pretty messed up actually.
Don't forget your stream elements thingy, having that open. Jeff, I want you to complain that I'm slightly higher than you on my video feed.
Well, I was just gonna fix that. I wasn't actually. I was actually more worried about the audio now, but I think that looks pretty good too.
Fine.
Test. I'm loud.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I'm not loud. Maybe.
Stream Elements. That's a website.
Not Stream Deck. Stream Elements is a different thing.
StreamElements.com. All right.
It is Stream Elements. What's what? I can't. Yeah, Stream Elements, Steam Deck, Stream Deck. What are these words?
No, I think you got them all. I think I signed into the wrong thing. Let's see here. There we go. That'll fix it. Okay.
All right.
So now I'm just looking for super chats. All right, baller.
Well.
Okay. I think we're good, Mike. How are you feeling?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right. I'll just do a countdown. I'll hit the record button.
Christian, get out. We're starting already. There we
go. All right. Here we go. Wait, hang on. Let me refresh my chat. My chat broke. Let me bring it up. There we go. All right. 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am still a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, Sora and Smash Metroid Dread reviews are in Pokemon Theme Park, and we're going to talk about our favorite Mario game of all time. Jeff, how you doing? You had a big road trip weekend?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just Googling Mario games here.
You're prepared. That's great. You know what your favorite Mario games are. Come on, I can answer for you.
I did have a big road trip. We went down to New Mexico. We went to Albuquerque to what they called the ABQ, and they're the big balloon festival, hot air balloon festival, and we saw hot air balloons flying through the sky. It was very cool. It was the kids really liked it. We went a couple days, and then we went to Santa Fe, and there's this exhibit called the Meow Wolf, or like an interactive museum called
like a Pokemon.
Meow Wolf does sound like a Pokemon, yes. It is a non-linear sort of art installation, very much has Control vibes, or like a video game. It feels like a video game. It's non-linear. You go through however you want. Each room is its own thing. But then there's this house in the middle of this building, and it's in this dark thing. And you go in, and no matter where you go, you kind of always end up back in the house. It's a very cool thing. And apparently they just opened up an even bigger exhibit here in Denver, so we're going to that because we were really, really super into it. So yeah, it was a good trip. It was a lot of fun. The drive was good, cool. 6-7 hours. But yeah, I'm glad to be back doing Nintendogs.
I like those road trips can be fun.
Me too.
Yeah, man. All I know about Albuquerque is basically from that one Weird Al Yankovic song, and I don't know if you know that reference. But we can't talk about Albuquerque because we've got a lot of Nintendo news to get to. Jeff, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, Jeff. So first off, the Metroid Dread reviews are in fact in as of this morning. We didn't get an early code, so we don't have a review, but it's still a little fun to talk about the kind of early reception here. Metacritic is at a 88 last time I checked, with about 50 review scores. With that many scores, that's probably about where that's going to stay at this point. Jeff, are you excited?
I am very excited. I cannot wait to get on this. It's like the trip was nice because it's like I left the trip. It was like 8 days away. Now I'm back. It's like already almost here. It's like just a couple more nights and we'll be playing this game.
Yeah. I want to say I can't complain too much about Nintendo jail anymore because Nintendo did contact me and they are sending me an OLED and a code for this. So it's like I feel so like basically all we are not getting right now is the codes early for reviews, which is in a way is just them giving us less work. So, fine. I don't really understand it from their perspective, just because I feel like we typically like Nintendo games and score them high. So I feel like they're hurting themselves, but whatever. It's good. I don't care. I'll review Metroid Dread later, or just not give it a score and just talk about it in some other weird way.
Hang on, I got a kid yell at me. I'll be right back.
All right, man. I was gonna play this to Jeff to try to troll him, but I was learning this song on my thing. Let's see. There we go. There we go. See,
Okay, I'm here.
there you go. She's like, why aren't we in Albuquerque anymore?
Yeah,
This
she's
is
mad.
Dread.
She wants Play-Doh. She wants me to come sit with her, but I told her I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. This is what this is called.
It's called On the Phone and Working. There you go. All right. So yeah, Metroid Dread's big game reviewed. Well, I mean, 88. That's about as high. That's like in the ballpark of all the other games we've been talking about as Game of the Year contenders, like your Ratchet and Clanks, your Psychonauts 2s, your Death Loops, and so on and so forth. So seems interesting. The kind of other talking point here, and I saw our friend Matt Piscatella talk about this over at the NPD. It's kind of now or never for Metroid to have a big sales breakout hit here, right?
That's right.
You have this anticipation for this game. It's being positioned as their big holiday game on an incredibly successful platform, kind of a launch game with a new iteration of the system. Good review scores.
Everything is going in its favor, right?
Yeah, it should be now. If it's ever going to have a game in this series that sells more than 5 million copies, this is it.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's RGT85, a YouTuber, has a bet that it's not going to sell 3 million copies because no Metroid ever sells 3 million copies. Metroid Prime, I think, is like either the best selling or the second best selling after like the NES Metroid, and it got like 2 point.
GameCube game.
Yeah, GameCube game with not that system. What had 20 million consoles, 25 million consoles. Yeah. So
if that game sold 5 million copies, it would have had a 25% attach rate.
Yes, exactly. Insane. Right. Yeah. So this is it's now or never. They're not gonna, if this game fizzles out, they're not gonna stop production on Metroid Prime 4 or something. But I think the expectations could be severely turned down for what that game could do. I know that it's 2D versus 3D and stuff like that, but I just feel like this game needs. I personally think this game's going to sell 5-6 million copies, but over the course of its life, just based on the Nintendo Switch effect. And you're right, all the things are going in its favor right now. So I am very much expecting this to be a breakout hit.
I am certainly expecting it to be the best-selling Metroid ever.
Yes.
I really am. I think if it is below 3 million, I would raise an eyebrow, and I would just be like, I guess Metroid is never going to be a very big seller. But I think it is. I think it's going to sell at least over 3 million. I'm hoping it gets to 5 million. I don't think that's ridiculous. So
no,
we'll see. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on. And hey, wouldn't it be something if suddenly Metroid is a game that sells 10 million copies?
Right.
I don't know. It could happen.
Again,
we just mentioned it.
Yeah, it's within the realm of possibility based on some other stuff that it has. And it was Luigi's Mansion probably sold pretty similarly. I mean, it was a launch game, so it probably sold a little bit better maybe than Metroid Prime. I don't know.
Luigi's Mansion was a launch game? Luigi's Mansion 1. I'm talking, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah, on the GameCube, yes. And so, yeah, when you get to the Switch, it's you see the big Switch effect there. And that's why I'm I think the same thing's going to happen here. I know that Japanese gamers have never cared about Metroid, but, that could change. That could change, and maybe it changes now. They are making a big deal out of it.
Right. I mean, the Japanese gamers I don't say they don't matter, but they're as irrelevant for console sales as they have ever been.
Yes, that's true.
Unless you're making a Dragon Quest game or something. All right, Jeff. Next thing here, we got that final Smash Brothers character, and it is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. It has actually happened. I was actually pretty shocked. Even though it certainly was always possible at this point, because anything's possible, but I never gave it that much consideration. Then they do that trailer, and no matter what you feel about Sora or Kingdom Hearts, very cool reveal trailer.
Awesome,
they knew exactly what they're doing.
So many good callbacks to all the other reveals. It was good.
Well, it starts where the first reveal trailer with the Splatoon characters ended. which was great. And they know exactly the moment that they want you to realize it's Sora when they freeze on that spinning keyblade. You see the freaking Mickey Mouse symbol, which, like, man, how much did that even cost?
Yeah,
Just the silhouette of Mickey Mouse.
I bet, even if it's like not having to pay like per appearance of the Mickey Mouse symbol there, which very likely could be, I bet that was a lot of money and time in paying lawyers to like just talk about that specifically. So yeah, it's
Right.
pretty intense stuff that this actually happened. Pretty cool though.
Yeah, and it had to be a difficult deal because you're not just dealing with Square Enix. Disney has to be on board with it, and it could be a hard company. And we see they had to do some maneuvering. Like any mentions outside of like the silhouette of Mickey, any mentions to the Disney character is gone. Like there's the stage with the stained glass windows from the game, and where like Donald and Goofy were, it's just like a picture of a boat now and stuff like that. Which I get it, right? But and I think actually John Drake had a lot to do with that over at
Did he really? Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Well, he's been tweeting about it a bit, so
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, it is his realm, I guess. So yeah.
Right. I think there has to be some kind of an advocate because I mean, so a couple of things there. First off, Disney may be disinclined to do deals with Nintendo because Nintendo is buddying up with Universal, right? Which is their direct theme park competitor now. But we're in this weird area now where I don't want to throw the word metaverse around, but everyone is just kind of used to the business practice now of lending out your characters to other things.
Yeah.
And that's the Fortnite effect, I think, now. And that's why basically anything is on the table now for Smash Brothers or any game like this now. We just kind of have gotten used to this idea. More importantly, business people have gotten used to it.
Yes.
Like 20 years ago, if you've been like, we're going to put our character into somebody else's game thing and Batman is also going to be there, they would have freaked the hell out. And now it's like, well, of course we are.
Yeah. It's, the idea of competition is probably a little bit even outdated. Like collaboration is so important and there's like there's enough pieces of the pie for everybody to get some. Usually if everybody like kind of works together, it's giant corporations coming together to synergize to create products to sell us, whatever. It's easy to be cynical about that stuff, but it probably did take a lot of people who cared about this, both the game and these characters, to make this happen, and it's cool to see that actually happen. Now the character itself, Mike, and the game it comes from,
Jeff, I just want you to know that the fact that you don't like Kingdom Hearts is very interesting, and it makes you an interesting person.
Okay, all right, I get it. Fine. I'm sorry that I don't like this game, and it was so bad that I still like hold this grudge to this day.
I'm just saying, like, okay, at a certain point, it's like, man, a lot of people don't like Kingdom Hearts and sure do want me to know about it. To be clear, it's fine. Everybody's always like, oh, Mike, get Jeff to play Kingdom Hearts or do a bet where Jeff is to play Kingdom Hearts. I don't want Jeff to play Kingdom Hearts. He doesn't like Kingdom Hearts, and I don't want him shitting on it and complaining about things that I'm fine with. It's fine. It's fine.
To be fair, I played the PlayStation 1 original a few years ago.
2. You don't even know what platform it came out for.
PlayStation 2, whatever, all the same. And it was like, yeah, man, it was on PlayStation 2 and it was that bad. That's why.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry.
You just don't get it.
You just don't get it.
Well, I think you have different ideas of what it should be. You just can't get over it. Like it's a very floaty
fun
game. It's floaty because of like all the emphasis on air combat and some of these other things. And look, the game probably has faults that I just completely gloss over and work around with and don't care because it's ultimately a game where Donald Duck is shooting out fucking Final Fantasy spells.
That's fair. Yes,
of course, like don't trust me. Like people like, oh, well, I like Kingdom Hearts. I have no idea. Of course, I love it. It's like a series that was made for me. It's Disney and Final Fantasy. I of course adore it.
And in the end, I don't care all that much. The Sora makes a lot of sense for this. And honestly, like, if you'd like,
I know all that Smash Brothers you're playing. This is
right, exactly right. Yes, I'm not playing any Smash Brothers. So, but like, and you look around, like, what other character could it have been? I honestly don't think there was probably not a better character than Sora. So
In terms of, and we talked about last time how at the end of the last one, it was just Byleth from Fire Emblem. Everybody was really deflated, and there are of course people who don't like Kingdom Hearts. But overall, I think even if you don't like Kingdom Hearts, you have to admit this is a pretty hype announcement. This is very exciting. This is worthy to close it out on.
Turbo Sean says it's a 19-year-old game. What do you expect? I just expect it to be better than 20-year-old games and 25-year-old games.
There are 30-year-old games that still control very well. I don't know. I really don't want to get into it too much. Because again, you don't like Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
I do.
Yeah, I'm not,
what are we going to do?
I'm not here to just rub my butt on it or whatever. It's whatever. It's fun to do it for 30 seconds, but we've moved past the joke now, and we can kind of just talk about.
Maybe someday we'll just do a big podcast and we'll just do it about that. But we're not going to take up all the screen time here. Me yelling at Jeff for not liking a thing that I like.
Right.
As fun as that could be. But also, so this is basically the end of active development for Smash Bros. Now. I'm sure there will still be a couple balance patches here and there, and they'll do some of their in-game spirit events or whatever they do. But man, so that's a lot of characters added. I'll tell you what. Another thing about Sora, that's a character that is going to increase sales. We're going to see a sales bump in October. This comes out October 18th is when Sora's playable. It's going to rise a few spots off the chart, right? Just because
I think so. I mean, I got questions. Do they put out a complete edition this holiday that has all the DLC just built in, Game of the Year edition, something like that? Or do they just keep selling it as is and expect it to keep doing really well? Because I bet it would still keep doing really well.
Maybe. I mean, if you put a version out there that has Sora on the front cover,
but Sora on the card, right? Because you kind of want to, I think if you're Nintendo, you want to lock that in for posterity, right? Have a version that's just on the card. You don't have to worry about people downloading it from the server years from now when the deal expires with Disney or whatever. It's just there. So yeah, I would hope that they just get all that stuff. I mean, that'd be a pretty big download or a pretty big thing to put onto a Switch card. So maybe not. Yeah. But I just would think if it's possible, they would want to do it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. It could happen. Kind of similar to this. So then right after that, they announced that the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to Switch. So there's already that music game, which is either Melody of Memory or Memory of Melody of Memory or Memory of Melody. I can't ever remember which one it is.
Doesn't matter. No one cares.
Whichever one I happen to guess is wrong. That's for sure. But so it's Kingdom Hearts 1+2, Kingdom Hearts 2.8, and Kingdom Hearts 3 are all coming to Switch, and all of them via the cloud streaming thing, which Kingdom Hearts 3 I can maybe see, but those other two are, those are just compilations of
this is just a laziness.
Younger games.
This is just a Square Enix going. This is just Square Enix being bad at games. This is just bad. It's bad. They shouldn't do this. It's lazy. It's hey, we're not really going to take the time to develop for the Switch, but the Switch is important enough to have these games on. It's part of this deal. It's just really a bad look. It makes me trust Square Enix's competence even less.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. Again, I would, especially Kingdom Hearts 1 and the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 compilation. You really can't just get that running at 60 frames per second on the Switch. I mean, it's a remaster of PlayStation 2 games. They're nice remasters, but they are PlayStation 2 games. So I'll be curious. I haven't tried any of the cloud streaming stuff, and I usually hate it. But I guess I'll be trying it here because I do really like the idea of playing Kingdom Hearts 2 on my Switch. We'll see how it goes. Maybe this will sell really badly, and instead of being we should have tried harder, they'll be well, people don't want Kingdom Hearts games on Switch or any of our games on Switch.
Mike, I have related super chats. I'm just going to read them now. Jay Stud McLovin says, I love Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Chain on Game Boy Advance, but bounced off the series because the story got too incomprehensible, but I still tested up, teared up. I still teared up. Manly tears only, of course, says Jade Stud McLuffin. Listen, I have womanly tears all the time, and I think there's nothing wrong with that.
It is cool how this version of Sora is it's more than anything is taking stuff from Kingdom Hearts 1, which is kind of adding to that nostalgic value. So it's great. And I have a lot of friends who at one point liked Kingdom Hearts as much as I did, but then they weren't playing the PSP game or the 3DS game just because they were excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. Not really realizing that because they didn't do that, they completely got lost because important story things happened there. And they just didn't get into Kingdom Hearts 3 that much as a result because they weren't really sure what was happening anymore.
I was only half listening when you said which games are coming to Switch. Will
All of them,
people?
basically.
Yeah, and so people will be able to get like most of the story and be fine if they only play on the Switch.
You'll get all of the story because even the games that aren't on those compilations, they have movie versions of them instead. So the complete Kingdom Hearts narrative experience will be available on the Switch. Just most of it through cloud streaming, except for the music game.
All right. Let's see. Isaac Spencer says it makes sense for Nintendo to port Super Smash Bros. Ultimate to future platforms, but do you think they really would, given all of the licenses they've had to obtain, or do you think they would, given all the license they'd have to get again to make that happen?
I wonder if when they were making these deals, there was any kind of evergreen contract, which you'd think that they would not want to be a part of. But I'm sure it's something they're thinking about. That's the thing with Smash Bros. Ultimate right now. They did the whole everyone is here thing. It's going to be kind of awkward to ever go back and say, now some of them aren't here again.
Some of them are here. Yay. Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, because then people just want to play Ultimate. Because what else can you really do to Smash Bros. At this point? You can add more characters, and they will, but if people are missing, I don't know. I think we have a question from Discord later about this, like what's next for Smash Brothers. I'm really not sure, because it seems like you just want to start with Ultimate as a base and maybe just port it and add more things, but there could be complications there, and maybe that's not exciting enough. I thought they would have just ported Smash 4 to the Switch way back when and added more characters. And I was actually shocked that they're like, no, we made a whole new game and we basically remade all the character models again. So who knows? Like maybe they will just get that crazy ambitious again, and it will still have all these characters and 10 new ones somehow and something else. I wonder if they could just let this one be the Smash game for a while, even if it was just backward compatible with the next, and instead make a remake of Melee, because then people will be fine if it doesn't have, a zillion characters, because it's just the old game that they love but looks better.
Yep. Yeah. It's a weird situation where I think Smash is so important to them, but they really have like the Ultimate moniker feels correct, where like this is the ultimate iteration of what this game could be, and where do you go from here? That's a tough one.
But there has to be more, because this game sold over 20 million copies. Like, of course, there's going to be a Smash Bros. For the next console. It's getting weird to imagine what that looks like.
Yep. This game, does it cross 30 million?
Eventually it could. Sora could help it there, man.
Sora could help
it there. Yeah.
We'll see. I think probably not, but it could.
So earlier today, Universal Studios Japan announced that it is getting Pokemon stuff in its theme parks starting next year, and some I think some other tweets kind of indicate that this will be going around the parks. Jeff, this was always also rumored as part of the Nintendo deal, even though it involves a few more people because of the Pokemon Company, which Nintendo just owns a part of, not all of it. But for my basic understanding of the rumor from like years ago, when people were first talking about all this, is that Pokemon would kind of come in to be the kids area, as it were. So in Universal Orlando, if you've ever been there, there's like a giant section of that park for the kids that is incredibly outdated. It has like a Barney section that's now like abandoned. It has a Curious George section and a very large Five-O Goes West section that is still there.
Just paint that mouse yellow, put some stripes on it, and you're good to go.
So, and before they were like solidifying plans to build the third theme park there, this area was at one point pegged as a potential spot for Super Nintendo World at Universal Orlando. But now then the thinking became this is where the Pokemon stuff will go there. I don't know where it's going to go in Japan, and we don't know exactly what it's going to be. And I bet, even though I say mostly like the kids stuff, I think there is still going to be at some point a big e-ticket AAA attraction here. I don't think that's going to be in 2022. I think that's going to be quite a bit of ways. But so that's exciting. That's sort of another bit of the Nintendo stuff going there. And a lot of the stuff, like some of it will just be in Nintendo World, like the Donkey Kong thing, but other parts are going to be spread out. If you don't know, there is still a rumor that there will be a separate Zelda section at the Universal Islands of Adventure Park in Orlando, kind of where they have some of their Greek mythology stuff right now. They would just replace that with Hyrule.
Yeah, you just paint Zeus orange, and you got
repaint things.
You got Ganondorf right there.
There you go. Jeff, along with Sora, we are getting some more Mii Fighter outfits to Smash Brothers. I know that excites you. 2 random Splatoon ones, and Doomslayer is getting a little love there. At one point I was like really on the the Doom guy's going to be a Smash Brothers character, and then that kind of cooled off a bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they consider these things. They made it a a Mii fighter, so that's I don't know. You could tell that they really were listening. He said as much when he talked about like, oh, we knew
Oh,
Sora
yeah.
was the most most requested or whatever. Now I was like rolling my eyes pretty hard at gamers then, but whatever. Yeah. But there's the fact that they got Doomslayer in there at all is cool.
Right. And now that like the next time we get characters, it'll be a new game. We cannot worry about, well, this character's already a Mii outfit or this character's a trophy. Like Waluigi, Doomslayer, Gino, all that stuff will be back on the menu.
Yeah.
I'm
ready to go through. I'm ready to go through this heartbreak once again once we get there.
That's right. Well, it would be something if they do this. If like the next Smash game doesn't have Waluigi at this point. Like,
yes, it would be antagonistic.
Right. Like what the heck? All right. We got some Discord questions. We also got some super chats. We did some of them. If you have any more super chats, if you could send them in if they're questions, you can also send a super chat in to tell us your favorite Mario game, because that'll be right after these questions. But let's get to this. All right. Well, Nick Turbo says, not a question. I just wanted to. What the heck? I just said this was the question segment. I just wanted to say that last week's episode inspired me to homebrew my new 2DS XL, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Thank you, Nintendogs. Woof woof. You're welcome, but remember, the Nintendogs are not responsible for any damage that may happen to your 3DS or 2DS. There is always a risk that something could go wrong and you just break your system. Just understand that before you start homebrewing. It probably won't happen. And what are you really using your 2DS for anyways right now? But just know there's always a risk.
It's like a good doorstop, right? It's shaped like a wedge. Maybe you said 2DS XL. Hey, listen, wolf whoops are cheap. Send us those e-cards, all right? Daddy's got to eat.
That's right. Matt OK says that Bloomberg reported that 11 different studios received 4K kits from Nintendo. Do you think they got all of those wrong, or that they're incorrect that Nintendo still plans to release a 4K Switch after the chip shortage made it impossible for them to release one in 2021? Jeff, we talked about this a little bit on GamesBeat Decides, but what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they got it all wrong. I think there was something happening. I think that Nintendo was probably trying to get its partners ready for something, and they probably were never definitive about what that could be, but they probably had like a early development kit that was probably really locked down and had some idea of what they wanted to do. And they got those developers working on stuff. Say, hey, support. I mean, we've heard that reporting for a long time, that they were like Nintendo was reaching out to developers to say, hey, get ready for 4K. So there was something happening there, and they pulled back for whatever reason, probably the chip shortage. And now where are we at? Like, do we get a Pro next year? Who knows? There could be a million reasons why if that is the plan right now, why they would go back on it. So it's tough to say. Like, it's tough to take that reporting and say, here's what's going to happen in the future. And I think that's even what the story says. It's like nothing might ever come from this stuff. Like, it could have just been an initiative that was fully abandoned. So right now, all we know is that Nintendo is saying they're not working on anything 4K, and they don't have another model coming. And that reporting is also there's probably at least a lot of truth to what was reported there.
Jedi Moss Force says, how extensive of a remake would the rumored Metroid Prime 1 re-release be? Would it be closer to a remaster or a remake? Some insiders like Nate the Hate has said the project has been in development for a number of years at Retro.
2018, 2019, yeah.
And it could be an extensive remaster of the game. So if it is just going to be Metroid 1 and not the trilogy, I would expect or hope that it would be a pretty substantial glow up for the game.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly. I do know it's supposed to be somewhere in between. I think that it's like a remake that is having a lot of extra shine put on it. It's kind of how I would put it. And that's a game that with a few emulation tricks and add a few things here and there, you could do a lot to that game because it already looks so good. It wouldn't take much to just make sure that the widescreen support is really good. Make sure all the give it like a pass to the textures or whatever. But other than that, like, you don't have to do much. And then is that a remaster remake? It's all semantics. Who knows? I just think that they might try to position it as a remake so they could sell it for $60, and they'll probably be able to do that.
What do you think they call it? That's just
Metroid
Prime
Prime 1
HD.
Anniversary Edition or something like that.
Well, they won't put the word one in it or the number one in it. Maybe it just be
Yeah.
Metroid Prime. I don't know. What if it's just Metroid Prime OLED? That'd be funny.
Yeah, I
For
mean,
no
they did
reason.
Samus Returns, maybe Metroid Prime, like Prime
Metroid
Returns or something.
Primed.
Metroid Prime.
Metroid's Prime.
Yeah, Metroid's Prime. There you go.
Yeah. Anderson64 asks us, other than Glover, what under the radar Nintendo 64 games do you and Grubb want on the Nintendo Switch online service? Give me those Chameleon Twist games, which are
Those are
kind of
fun.
another, those are fun second tier 3D platformers on there. The one even had a relatively fun multiplayer, like kind of battle royale mode thing going there.
Mhm.
That was fun. But there's some of the other obvious ones like Space Station Silicone and Body Harvest, weirder things like that. I don't know, Jeff. Anything else coming to mind for you?
I would like to see Beetle Adventure Racing on there, but I think the licensing there would make it challenging, and no one's probably gonna like try to strip the licensing out of there. But Beetle, the Volkswagen Beetle, I think is out of production right now. Maybe Volkswagen would be like, yeah, whatever, go for it. So, Beetle Adventure Racing would be fantastic. That's still one of the best arcade racers ever made. Then I don't know, Mischief Makers, stuff like that. Stuff I think we talked about a little
Makers
bit.
to me is almost like not like that's in a tier above where it just
You're
should
right.
happen.
That definitely should be on there. You're right. Cruising USA should happen.
Right. Oh, you
Yeah.
know what? How about I want Clay Fighters 63 and a third.
Yes, there you go. Clay Fighters. I'll take
special
War
Hollywood
Gods. You
video
take Clay
version,
Fighters.
No, the blockbuster version that was hard to get. Just put it on there. Destroy that resellers market. It actually wouldn't. They don't care. But it'd be fun to actually just play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jotin asks, question for my two favorite Nintendogs. We're also the last ones, so of course we're your favorites. But name another Nintendo franchise you'd want to see be a movie. So that's interesting because I don't necessarily care about too many of them becoming movies. Like it's always interesting, and I will go see them because it's like, man, what does a Mario movie look like in 2021, and what does a Zelda movie look like in 2023? So again, I'll probably just go to my weird thing here. And what would a high production Star Tropics movie look like from Nintendo and some weird Hollywood partner? Star Tropics also has like a story. Star Tropics could work. You're a kid, you're in the tropics, you got a dolphin friend. It could be a movie.
I'm trying to see if I can find that. I think Darren Aronofsky, who was a director, did a live action commercial for Metroid Prime, I think it was.
Right, that looked really cool, huh?
And it was like really, I'm like, it looks kind of weird, but it also looked pretty cool. I think this might be it. Let me see if I can bring it up. But yeah, that was I would love to see Metroid as a movie for sure. I think Zelda's obvious. They definitely need to get to Zelda, whether it's a show or a movie or something like that. But I think a Metroid specifically, like Metroid Prime, just kind of take that story. I know it's light.
Well, Other M already has all the dialogue. That'll be the easiest one, Jen.
Okay, I need to finish Other M. I'll stream some Other M tonight.
I like the idea of a Metroid movie, but I have very little faith they would do it right because it needs to be kind of quiet and atmospheric and not have a lot of dialogue and stuff like that, and they wouldn't do that. All right, Turbo Sean asks, you ever all think about the wing cap? How the hell does that thing work? The raccoon tail and cape make some sense in a cartoon logic kind of way. I mean, cartoon logic kind of way. But how does the wing cap stay on Mario's head while propelling him through the sky? Maybe more accurately, how does his big old butt not plummet to the ground after 2 seconds of flying? It's magic.
It attaches to his hair. His hair is very got a lot of gel in there and other sticky products.
Yeah, you have to be a giant buzzard to really get the hat off. Isn't it crazy? There's the hat can come off mechanic for basically just that one enemy. Maybe there was more.
And it's in Nintendo 64, like the first time they would have like a 3D hat and stuff. Like they did it right away. What a game. What a game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Aaron Tontis says, after this airing, assuming this is airing after the reveal, how do you know that Sakurai will no longer be able to disappoint you? Look, there have been some reveals that haven't quite tickled my fancy, like the Kazuya or whatever from Tekken. But I can never complain because I got Mega Man forever ago, and that was like the most excited I'd ever been. Like that was the one I wanted. I got Mega Man, and I still gotten a lot of really cool ones that I wanted. Like I really wanted Ridley from Metroid. They finally did that. I really wanted Simon Belmont. Even this Sora thing's great. So there are still a couple that I would really like to see, specifically Gino and Waluigi. but I never get like real mad or worked up about it. But that's the other side of this whole it can be anybody thing now. Well, now everybody has their sort of dream character, and it can always be disappointing when it's not that one.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed it wasn't Bill Clinton.
Yeah, from NBA Jam, you
From
want
NBA
him in, like,
Jam.
yeah, you want him in a basketball, but good
Yep.
stuff. Nintendo Bro says, what changes do you think we'll see in the next Smash? Or do they do a deluxe style port of Ultimate for every console they release for the rest of the time? So I brought this up. I mean, the rest of the time, that seems... they might do it once. I don't know if they would do it more than that. But it is this awkward thing now. Like, what? Are we just going to keep doing this until there's 300 characters in Smash Brothers that they have to balance and they have to keep updating? Like how long can this go on? I don't know. But again, there has to be a Smash Brothers in every console because it sells like crazy. There's no way they're going to keep that money off the table.
Yep, I agree.
Remake Melee as a stopgap while you maybe just port Ultimate with some new characters for the next one, and then give them Melee also, and that'll make people happy. But beyond that, man, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in charge of those decisions.
Yep.
And we're getting to the point where like Sakurai may eventually not actually be involved anymore. He always threatens that.
Yeah, it could be this time. He could be done. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Nintendo Bro also says, you know the rules. Now you must choose: buy one, rent one, banish one. Arcade Racer Edition, Cruisin' USA, Ivan Ironman Stewart's Super Off Road, and Hydro Thunder. Man, okay. I'll say right now that the Ivan Ironman Stewart Super Off-Road doesn't... I don't even remember that one, so I'll banish that one. I think I'm... God, I haven't played Cruisin' USA. I think I'm going to keep Cruisin' USA because it's Cruisin' USA. So I'll buy that one. God, no. I want to buy Hydro Thunder.
Yeah,
if it's the arcade version, let's say, or the Dreamcast version at least, I'm going to buy Hydro Thunder. And then I'll rent Cruisin' USA. I got mad on Twitter the other day because I was like, do people even remember Hydro Thunder? And a lot of people were like, what? They're like, that game wasn't important. That game was very important. That was basically Midway's like last real big arcade hit, I feel like.
It's still fun to this day. It's a great game. I buy Hydro Thunder as well. Cruisin' USA I rent. And Super Off-Road is no RC Pro-Am. It's one of those isometric racers, Mike, so you wouldn't even... I bet you saw it at the arcade and wouldn't even... you probably just walked right past it. So
I hated those as a kid.
Yes.
I'm more receptive to them now, but even like... I remember getting a Super Nintendo game that was like that. Like all those games like that, Rock and Roll Racing. I hated them. I never got it.
I like Super Off-Road when I saw it at the arcade, and it's like got a really sharp color palette and stuff. So, and I'd play it and I'd have some fun. But yeah, I always enjoyed RC Pro-Am at home more. It felt faster.
Mm-hmm. Nick Turbo asks, can Sakurai take a nap now or maybe drink some water? Yeah, you would think that he'd maybe take a vacation. I get a little bit, I don't know if we use the word of the whole, poor Sakurai thing. I mean, the man could take a break whenever he wants to. Like if he wants to be a workaholic and a weirdo, I mean, I don't know. Now I'm coming off as incredibly harsh. Just called the man a weirdo. I guess I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'm an empathy monster, but I'm never as like, I'm so worried about Sakurai. He looks tired. The man's like older too. He's fine. Jeff, am I a monster?
I mean, without a doubt, you did just call a man a weirdo for making a game you love.
Yeah,
so,
basically, I don't know why I said weirdo. I was like, that wasn't right. He's not a weirdo.
I mean, I feel like you formulate an official apology while I go get my kids some water.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. I love Sakurai. I love his game, but I feel like every time he comes up, there's like this cult about him, and they're all like, "Oh, Mr. Sakurai, are you okay? Please take a nap, sir." We feel like he's a grown man. He's fine. He'll be okay. But yeah, if he wants to take a vacation, I'm sure he absolutely can. Again, it's not like Nintendo is some overlord here. I don't know, maybe there's a lot of emotional manipulation going on and he feels like he can't leave and it's actually awful. I don't know. Maybe I am just a jerk, but I am definitely a tin whistle player. What's next there? No.
It's beautiful.
This is from Kingdom Hearts.
I hate it.
All right. I tried to walk that one back. Let's see what's next now. Nick Turbo says, "Can Jeff play Kingdom Hearts now?" No, absolutely he cannot. He doesn't like it. He's not going to like it. He's never going to change his mind. I don't need to hear him whine about it. I'd rather watch him play Metroid Other M or Ball in Wonderworld again.
Yeah.
I take it the whole I'm gonna beat Other M thing is dead now, right? There's no way you're going back to Other M after you play Dread.
Well, I'm gonna stream it tonight. I'll stream some tonight.
Wow.
We'll see how far I get, and then I'm probably not gonna beat it because it's not a good game. But once I have Dread, I'm not gonna go back. So let's try to get through as much of it as we can tonight.
Logos87 asks, the first time Mario was featured in a game was the 1981 arcade game Donkey Kong. That's true. The next two games that Mario featured in are Donkey Kong Jr. and Donkey Kong 2. Wait, what the hell is Donkey Kong 2? There's a I thought Donkey Kong Jr. was Donkey Kong 2. I know there's Donkey Kong 3.
There's Donkey Kong 3. I don't know. Did he say Donkey Kong Jr.? I don't know.
He said Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong 2.
He probably just meant 3.
I think he meant 3. No, because he's not in 3. Right? It's that guy with the
maybe he made Donkey Kong Jr. math. He's probably not in that either.
I think so, because I don't think it's well, it's hard because you look for Donkey Kong 2 and then Donkey Kong Country 2 just comes up. Donkey Kong 2 arcade.
Use your Boolean. Donkey Kong 2 minus country.
There is something. Wait, what's this? Donkey Kong 2 Jumpman Returns. Oh, this is a homebrew hack. Okay, I think he misspoke somewhere. Or there's
some Nintendo jail about to happen here.
Anyways, he continues. Finally, Mario got his own game after multiple entries into the Donkey Kong series. This raises an interesting question in my mind. Do all Mario games belong in the extended Donkey Kong metaverse, or did Mario pull a Zuckerberg and steal Nintendo for himself? I mean, one thing that's important to remember here is I think when they named the first arcade game, it wasn't necessarily like this character's name is Donkey Kong. I think they were naming the game more than the character at the time. Then of course that name kind of stuck to the character. Like it was always Mario's game. Donkey Kong is, right. So in some ways you can see Donkey Kong is really the start of the Mario franchise, and then kind of spun off into a Donkey Kong. But even then, like the Donkey Kong series, that really doesn't start until Donkey Kong Country, at least what we think of it as in terms of modern. Like even Donkey Kong 94, is that a Donkey Kong game? That's a Mario game to me. It's not like a core Mario game, but it's a Mario offshoot more than it is. It's more related to Mario World than it is related to Donkey Kong Country. Let's say that about Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Turbo Sean says, Jeff, why can't you let Mike enjoy things? You fuck. This is an excellent question, Jeff. What do you think about that?
When Mike experiences joy, it makes me queasy and nauseous, and I hate it. I hate looking at him being happy. It's off-putting.
That's fair. That's fair. Laura Legend. Oh, this is fun because he asked us this before when he thought we were going to record yesterday. What do you think the Metacritic score for Metroid Dread will be? I think it'll be 88.
I'm gonna go 89. I bet.
I'll tell you, I'm always kind of mad.
We'll review it and we'll push it up probably.
There's so many reviews. I don't even know if it would.
There's
true. Like 50 scores now. I tell you, I'm almost kind of mad because I think I would have guessed 88 and I would have looked smart, but here we are. I can't prove that now. You just have to take my word for it that I'm a genius. Nintendo Bro asks, is it true that Nintendo is closing further development of Smash Ultimate because of Bandai Namco's new logo is just so bad? I like to believe that.
Shut it down, people. We can't work with this filth. Yeah. It's a bad logo, everybody, if you haven't seen it.
You think Nintendo ever changes their logo in any substantial? Like there are some logos that just seem so good, like the Nintendo logo, right. Like the Sega logo, like what
they've changed the color a little bit, but you said significant, so probably not.
Yeah. Konami's actually pretty good too. Eric Tonsa says, do you think they will make a new Smash Bros. After this, or will they just release Ultimate with one or two new characters and God, it's easy for me to say. Perpetuity. Thank you, Jeff. That's a word I think I have only ever read and never had to say out loud.
There you go.
So perpetuity for the next 10 to 15 years. Yeah, we talk. I don't think they can get away with just one or two new characters, to be honest. There has to at least be as many starting characters as Ultimate start with. Ultimate didn't start with a whole ton of new characters. It was still pretty good, but they probably added more through the DLC at this point than were just in the game at first. It's kind of like there's if you count Piranha Plant, they added 12 characters to that game through DLC. That's crazy.
That's more characters that were in than were in Super Smash Brothers, right?
Or about the same. Because there was 8 starting and then 4 secrets, so maybe about the same actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that might be wrong. It might actually be 14, but 12 or 14. You're right. I could sit here and try to name them and count them, but that would be boring.
Yeah, I could just Google this thing, and I'm not going to do that
Google it.
either because that's
Yeah,
also
Google it.
boring.
Yeah, well, you can't Google it because that was actually the last of the Discord questions. So I need you to read any more super chats. I think you got through most of them.
I did 2. There's a few more here. Let's see here. Let me
Maybe
go to
a couple more.
I'm gonna go to the stream elements one. Let's see here. Let's see. We did okay. From J Stud McLovin, fantasy mashup, buy, rent, kill with fire. First IP plays like second IP. Okay, so
Okay, this again.
Yes, okay.
I get this game now.
Okay, so a Legacy of Kain that plays like Skyrim, a Kingdom Hearts that plays like Scott Pilgrim, or an Earthbound that plays like Diablo. Okay, that's fascinating. I will buy an Earthbound that plays like Diablo. I will rent a Legacy of Kain that plays like Skyrim, and I will kill with fire a Kingdom Hearts that plays like Scott Pilgrim.
I will absolutely buy. I'm really into this whole Earthbound that is an action RPG thing now.
Me too. That sounds awesome.
Based action.
Yes.
That sounds great. I don't even like Earthbound that much. I'm like not one of those people, but you sold me on that idea. That's fantastic. I actually also, so you say, when you say a what's the game that's going to be like Scott Pilgrim? Kingdom Hearts like Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah.
I assume you just mean a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love a Kingdom Hearts beat 'em up. That's almost what the series is sometimes anyways, but it's like an actual like side scrolling, like
Golden Axe thing. Yeah.
That would be, I love beat 'em ups. That would be fantastic. And then I'm not a big Legacy of Kain guy. I probably need to go back to that series at some point. Sure, a big open world game like that could be cool. So I'm sure it'd be interesting. But the one that I am least interested in of those 3.
And then Beefhammer says, love reading these Switch OLED reviews, getting some real Game Boy Color vibes from the screen upgrade. I agree.
Wow.
It's just another screen upgrade, really.
At least it's not giving him any Mega Man X vibes.
Fair.
So we're okay there. All right, Jeff, are you ready for our topic of the week here?
I am. Yes.
All right. So
games.
Oh, Jeff, you know your favorite Mario games. I know your favorite Mario games.
Yeah, I think I know my favorite Mario games. There's just so many, and I want to do I want to go off the beaten path, or
because I'm not saying core here. Anything that in your heart is a Mario game will count here. So you can do all the sports games, all the RPGs, all of that stuff.
Yeah. Man. I'm just gonna pick one, and I'm gonna say Super Mario RPG.
I knew that's what you were gonna pick.
Yeah, okay. Well, why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah, I wanted to see you figure it out for your own, like a big boy.
It's listen, the reality is I probably do like the platformers better than this game, but like I when I think about the fact that Super Mario RPG exists and it's fun and it's so playful and there's so many cool ideas in it, and you get to play with Bowser on your team, and all the fun like setups when you like go up to what's his name's keep, and he's trying to get married to Princess Peach and all that stuff. It's all just it's yeah.
I can't remember his name right now. It's infuriating me also.
Same. God, I can see his face so well, but
it's fake War. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's something with a B, isn't it?
Something like that.
No, it's not Bowser. I just almost said Bowser, but it's something like
yeah.
God, chat's gonna help us in a second, I'm sure.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic. It's I played it again recently. It's super good. It just also like holds up in like really cool ways where it's like it is that weird silicon graphics visual style.
Booster, it is similar to Bowser, so that's why I got confused.
Okay. It's and I wish they would have done a direct sequel or something like that, or done another one exactly in that style. It's okay that they didn't. They changed some stuff up. I know Square Enix.
It did break my heart when Paper Mario was at first just called Super Mario RPG 2, and I thought like, oh well, like Gino and Mallow are going to be on this, and it's going to be great. And it took like, I think maybe that's why I like Thousand Year Door so much more than the first Paper Mario, because I got over it at that point.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, it is better also, but like yes, it's
better,
and you know what? And and this, like, we're gonna find some deep rooted, like, this is where it comes from, Mike. Square Enix just went to go work with Disney instead on Kingdom Hearts, so we didn't get another Super Mario RPG, and that's what it is. That's, you know,
wow.
you took it away from me. This is it.
There's a pretty decent time gap between those two things, you know. There was like 7 years there.
Yeah, but they're probably trying to make it happen. They're like, we're not gonna, like, let's just go work with Disney instead. Yeah, that's what it was. That's in my head. It is
weird because, like, yeah, Square Enix works with everybody all the time, including Nintendo, and yet there still seems to be this, like, this theory out, this philosophy, like, well, they can't make a sequel because Square Enix owns the rights to Mallow and Gino. And it's like, you're really telling me they wouldn't play ball on that? They're clearly doing nothing with those characters.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I love that game. How about you, Mike?
I think Mario Odyssey is my overall favorite one. I love the 3D platformers, and it is almost shocking to me that the newest one is the best one, because that seems to almost never happen, because nostalgia is such a powerful force with these long-lived franchises. And my second answer probably would just be Mario 64. I still love that game. I played through that game a million times, never get bored of it. But man, Odyssey is just pretty much perfect. It feels just so good to play that game. The moveset is incredible. It ruins a lot of other 3D platformers because you just don't have that incredible freedom of movement and all these abilities and all the abundant cleverness everywhere. The cleverness in what a mission is, the cleverness of how a level works and how it looks, or how the music is working, or how this boss is happening. Just from beginning to end, an absolute masterclass of that genre.
Yep. It's a game I've replayed like 2.5 times already, and I will just, whenever I get the itch, I'll go back to it, and I know it's going to hold up. It is fantastic. It's so much better than I think even people give it credit for, even though it scored really well. The way people talk about, like, Breath of the Wild, like, absolutely deserves it. Odyssey deserves, like, similar praise. It is that good.
Right. It's so crazy that year how we got, like, the best Zelda game in forever and the best Mario game in forever when the system came out. I still think that is part of the, like, that momentum has helped carry the Switch since then. That's a big part of the reason why it's been so successful. That first year was just absolutely ridiculous with exclusives, with their biggest franchises.
Yep.
Yeah. If I wasn't gonna go like core Mario there, maybe I'd also say Mario RPG or Thousand Year Door. And then a special shout out to Donkey Kong 94, which I feel like me and you specifically, I feel like we're trying to keep the dream alive on that one, or at least keep its memory alive. We're always like, hey, Donkey Kong 94 is one of the best games ever that none of you all are talking about.
I wish I could remember exactly how I got introduced to it, because I know I wouldn't have bought a Donkey Kong game because I would have been like, oh, it's just the arcade game again. Like, I thought that.
Nintendo was hyping it up a bit as kind of the Super Game Boy launch game. That's why I got it.
Yeah, but I saw that and I was just like, oh, I mean, that looks cool. It does look cool, but it looks like the arcade game, and I'm not gonna like waste one of the couple games I get per year on that. And then I think a friend had it, and I either borrowed it or I played it for a second on their Game Boy, and then I'm just like, man, this platform and puzzle stuff, I was not expecting this. It's so good. And then I just I kept playing it, and then I'm like, okay, I got to get this for myself. And now ever since, one of my favorite games ever.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got a lot of answers from the Discord community, so let's get to some of those. Benji Bob says, my favorite Mario game is SSX on Tour. Of course, only the GameCube version where Mario is the playable character. I love the style of this game, from the hand-drawn menus to the more rock-centric music. They added skiing. They even added traffic so you can punch other people on the mountain. In my opinion, it's the best feeling SSX game, from speed to tricks to air. Absolutely loved this game growing up. If Nintendo is never going to make a proper Mario Winter Extreme Sports game, this is the closest I'm going to get. It's funny how he had to specify Extreme Sports game, because there are a lot of Mario Winter Sports games now, and Sonic's in there too. Jeff, I know you love 1080p snowboarding, as I like to call it. How do you feel about SSX?
It's fine. It's okay. It's like it's a lark, you know. It's a good diversion. It's no 1080 snowboarding, that's for damn sure.
Low Rule Legend says, I'm claiming Super Mario World before anyone else. To be clear, you guys can have the same answers, but it's fair. It's possibly the most replayable game of all time. This was the peak of Mario and 2D platforming in general. A flawless game. Yeah, Super Mario World is still pretty easily my favorite of the 2D Mario games. I just love the look of it. The overworld is still probably the best overworld that any like 2D platformer has ever had. God, it's just a vibe, man. I don't have anything bad to say about Super Mario World. I love Star Road. This is a perfect execution.
God.
It's like
the overworld map is so good.
Yeah, it's a combo. Like, these are the hard levels mixed with like a warp system, and then there's like even the special extra levels there too. Really cool stuff there.
Tubular, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Knooble, best 2D game, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Best 3D game, Mario Galaxy 1. Fuck you, Mario Galaxy 2, and your decision to remove the hub world. A couple things here. Um, First, I know I said whatever you consider to be a Mario game. If I considered Yoshi's Island a Mario game, I would have included it as an honorable mention, but I still just don't. But it's fine if you do, but I still just don't. I'll tell you what, that's pretty rough on Mario Galaxy 2 there. I also kind of miss the hub world, but it's ultimately not a big deal to me. I want to play
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy 2 again so bad because Mario Galaxy 1 is finally fresh in my mind again, and I want to know which one I like better, and I'm still not sure.
Yep. I when I get done with the other M, I think I might stream some Galaxy 2 on using Dolphin. So yeah. Although my kid right now has my Wiimote and she's probably gonna break it, so oh well.
Yeah. I see you added a poll here, Jeff. What's better, 2D Mario or 3D Mario? I bring it up on Twitter a few times, and I'm surprised I get yelled at about it. I think it's just loud, wrong people. When I say that
It's
I like
loud,
the 3D
nostalgic
games,
people. Listen, I think I probably agree with you, but you are so certain that's. I mean, it's your taste. You're so certain you like 3D better than 2D, and I think for me it's a little bit more of like a toss up. It's gonna fall on the 3D side most of the time, but those 2D Mario games were like the best games ever until the 3D Mario games. So it was like it's very hard for me.
they were, but yeah, I don't know. To me, it's very easy how much more I like the 3D games. I'm not even. I like the 2D games clearly, but they aren't. And I don't want to say they're not special to me because they were, but they were special to me from like World and before that. And I still like going back and playing them. But again, I could play 64 anytime and had just about the best. Like one of my top 10 best gaming experiences of that year is when I decided to play Mario 64 again.
Yeah,
It's still very
fair
good.
enough. Yeah.
Jotten says, I think with what I've been playing lately, I love Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury a lot. Bowser's Fury is a great expansion, and the base 3D World has some super creative levels. In the few occasions I've met up with my friends, we always play this game. I was down on 3D World back when it was a Wii U game, and then that Switch port, just like making it a little faster and adding that dive move from Odyssey. I was like, this is all of a sudden like a top 5 Mario game now. This is freaking fantastic.
Yeah, you also stopped being a real piece of shit too. So you finally recognized that it was a good game, and like I always said it was, and gave it a 10 when it first came out on Wii U, and then it came out on Switch and was even better. So give it 11. That's what we should have given it.
Right.
You okay?
Jeff Dean says you have a meeting in 7 minutes.
I maybe I wouldn't know about that. I feel like all right, hang on, let me check.
I don't know. Why are the kids yelling at you?
Yeah, they're yelling at me too. Hang on, let me see here.
Just getting it from all angles.
I mean, this is a meeting they just like said I was going to go to, and they never actually asked me. I've been on vacation, so I'll just tell them I'll be late.
All right. Where were we? Okay, next up.
Cool.
Nick Turbo says, my favorite Mario game is Super Mario Odyssey. I cannot remember a game before or since that has made me so happy while playing as Odyssey. It is just a masterpiece. Also, shout out to Super Mario 64 for not only being my first Mario game, but my first video game ever. Oh, Nick Turbo is so adorable. Jesse, Nankabessa Norris says, best 2D Mario game, none of them. Best 3D Mario game, none of them. All bad. Wow.
I guess he's just trolling me because he's like, oh, whenever I try to talk about Nintendo games, it's like, oh, all that, like nothing good on Switch. So he's just trolling me.
He only likes those 1D Mario games.
There you go. Yep.
Mogos87 says, my favorite Mario game is definitely Mario Paint. I have so many nostalgic memories tied to that game as a kid. It really helped me discover my creative side and a way to express my true self. I was fortunate enough to have the SNES mouse. That was a game changer for me. I still play Mario Paint from time to time, but it's mostly for making erotic Bowsette art. Oh, that took a turn.
Of course, yeah.
I also love finding rap instruments that people make using the Mario Paint music editor and freestyle over them. I'll make sure to share my SoundCloud link in Discord whenever I drop my mixtape. No sleep till new donk. Very nice. Donovan Fair says, favorite Mario games have to go to Hotel Mario and Mario is Missing. 2 highly underrated classics. Okay, I can't even say that with a straight face. Legit though, I really enjoyed most of the series. The standouts I have played the most are Mario Brothers 3, Mario 64, L is real, or so I thought at the time, and probably Mario Odyssey. L is real, right? That statue in the courtyard where the booths are. That
Yes,
everybody
yes,
thought
I do
was
know that. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
everybody thought was the big Luigi tease.
Yep.
Charles says, been gaming since the PlayStation, but I have only ever played one Mario game. It was Odyssey on the Switch and loved it. Need to get a used copy of the Mario collection to expand my experience or do Grubb Crimes. Grubb Crimes are always a collection. Anderson64 says, favorite Mario game is a very boring answer, but Mario Kart 8. Me, my wife, and friends have put over 200 hours on Wii U and Switch. It's a perfect party game, an entry into the Mario universe. Would happily give Nintendo another $60 for extra tracks and characters with no complaints. It is really a desert island game for me. I am shocked there wasn't more DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch.
Yes, I mean, they did the DLC on Wii U, and they packaged it into the deluxe and sold it, but it sold so well. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that team was just like, we'll start working on something else, and then it just hasn't come out yet or something. I don't know.
I guess they must have just been on the new project, and it would just be too awkward to go back to it. But
I guess
weird. Turbo Sean says, my favorite game is Super Mario Odyssey. I feel like it's rare nowadays for the newest entry in a long-running series to be the best, but Nintendo accomplished that twice in 2017. Everything in Odyssey, from the controls to the pacing to the exploration, all feel like the culmination of every lesson learned in the past 25 years of 3D Mario development. Few games have made me shed tears of joy the way the finale of New Donk City did. That's fantastic.
Very, very good stuff. Yep.
Man, what a masterpiece. Much like Galaxy to Galaxy 2, I really want the next Mario game to be more of the same, just in new environments with new abilities and power-ups. Yeah, I really want Mario Odyssey 2. I'm not going to lie, because I don't know what's next outside of that, and I'm almost worried they're going to try something different-ish, and I won't like it as much. I kind of just want Odyssey again. But who knows? Like I thought Galaxy and Galaxy 2 were the pinnacle, or as good as it was going to be for a long time. And now, like, I love Odyssey so much, and maybe, like, depending on the day, maybe I might like 3D World more than the Galaxy games now. I'm not even sure. I don't know if that's true. They're all so close.
And they all have their place. Like, they all play just different enough that it's like, man, I'm in the mood for that. I'll go for that right now. So it's like, I'm so glad that they all exist for sure. I hope the next game is Odyssey 2.
Yeah, Nintendo Bro says, my favorite Mario game is Mario Luigi Partners in Time. Truthfully, all the Mario and Luigi RPGs are excellent in my book, with their great combat mechanics, humorous stories and dialogue, and excellent character sprites and art design. With Paper Mario not living up to expectations lately, I hope the series finally gets a chance at a console game on the Switch. Well, that developer shut down now, so I wouldn't hold your breath too much for a new Mario.
Yeah, I'm not too hopeful. Yeah,
Partners in Time doesn't usually get a lot of love, Jeff. What do you think about Partners in Time?
Partners in Time is okay, but it was definitely like a sophomore slump for me, where I was like, I love Superstar Saga so much that Partners in Time didn't live up to that.
Fair enough. And then Aaron Thompson says, my favorite Mario game is Super Mario Odyssey. This seems to be the most popular answer here because that's the right one. Every other 3D game felt like it was building to this game and its creative levels and challenges. No other 3D platformer comes close to this game. I almost can't disagree too much. It sure is incredible. Napper says, favorite Mario game is Super Mario 64 DS. Using a D-pad wasn't the best, but I liked getting to play as the other characters and loved collecting all of the mini games. I wouldn't mind another remake like this in the Mario franchise. Yeah, it was so, like, Mario 64 is so fun, and it was so neat, like, playing as Yoshi, that I did just kind of work through those controls, even though they bothered me sometimes. Giggy says, I still find the original Super Mario Bros. To be one of my favorite games on the NES and one of the best platformers of all time. Sure, 3 added much needed depth and super refined it to the formula most games go by today, but playing Super Mario Brothers decades later is still a great experience. And then the last one here from Wildfire Alex, my favorite Mario game of all time is Super Mario Galaxy 2 because of obvious reasons. I'm sure it's already been mentioned by now, but the game took everything that made the original great and made it even better. Honorable mention goes to Super Mario World and Super Mario 64. Jeff, there is, but you know what? I'm a little surprised here because usually this one always comes up in these things, but no love here for Mario 3.
Yeah, I noticed that. Super Mario Bros. 3 is fantastic. I just think it's in a weird place where our audience probably skews a little bit younger, I think you can see by the 3D. So let's end this poll. But also, if you like 3D or if you like Super Mario Bros. 3, you also probably like World, and chances are you probably like World a little bit better. So you probably mentioned that.
You're right though. There are like, just from some of the YouTubers I follow who like do the retro stuff. From there, like a lot of them are like, "Oh, 3 is the best one."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you kind of had to be there for it a little bit.
You have to be there.
Absolutely. If you play World first, 3 can be it's a little difficult and cumbersome sometimes.
Yeah, and the levels are like short and sweet. It's good, but like Super Mario World was like so good at subverting expectations a lot of times, where you think you're going to be doing one thing and at the end of the level you're doing something else, or there's so many good secret exits. It's just like it built on that concept so well that it's hard not to give the favor to the world. But I will say, like, if I were to like really go with my heart on this one, I probably would say Super Mario Brothers, the original for the NES. Getting that game for my 5th birthday, and just like knowing getting the system, really, Nintendo with that, and Duck Hunt and everything for my 5th birthday was formative. It's one of the things that led to me being here right now. But like just knowing what video games were before that with Atari, and even like stuff like Donkey Kong and the original Mario Brothers, and then getting this side-scrolling game that just felt right. Like the physics were right. It felt good to run. It felt good to jump. Mario fell out of the air at a realistic, pace that was recognizable in terms of how I understand gravity to work and stuff like that. It was just so solid right out of the gate, similar to the way Super Mario 64 was just so solid out of the gate with 3D. That it's still one of my favorite games of all time. It's still probably my personal most important game of all time. So yeah.
We got a super chat here from Jared Helder. Says, "I love Mario Kart 8 and Mario Galaxy, but my favorite Mario game is Mario Maker 2. I love the creativity it enables, including the Link power up." I feel like you might have forgotten. You could have said Mario Maker, because I know you absolutely loved that.
I was very close to mentioning. Yeah, so that was definitely I wanted to mention here, but that was close to being the one I was going to choose. Super Mario Maker is also super important. Super Mario Maker or Super Mario Maker 2. For me, it's just about having the relationship with a builder, and like playing against their creativity and going back and forth and playing those levels. It's really, really cool. I love that game. I've talked about it a lot on this podcast already. But I'm so glad those games got made and exist, and so many people have played them. So yeah.
But again, it seems like Mario Odyssey was our most popular and correct answer here. So I'm gonna go with that.
I mean, and for good reason. Great Mario game.
And next week, guys, we'll do favorite Zelda games. I know that's probably shocking a lot of you, but there's not as much variance there in terms of spin-offs and stuff. But hey, if you wanted to do Link's crossbow training because you're a monster, you go ahead.
Don't people like that game? I never played it.
I mean, I think they like it fine for what it is. I don't know.
There's definitely going to be someone's going to say it now just because we brought it up. But I bet there's people who would have said it even if we hadn't mentioned it. I bet it would be like that one person be like, I bet Giggy would have said it. Giggy's always got those deep cuts.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, I beat Harmony of Dissonance.
Wow, you beat me. I was driving, so I didn't have time to play. I did play it in bed at the hotel one night for a little bit. How do you feel about it?
I liked it a lot. Got the best thing. It was a bigger game than I was expecting.
Yes.
It's got that 2 castles thing,
right?
Where, it's kind of a light world, dark world thing, which was surprising. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed going around the castle. The complaints with it are the music isn't as good. And because you have like a shop and you can very easily farm money. You can find a place that drops 400 gold, which is an insane amount, and just go back and forth into the door and just, have a ton of gold, buy a zillion potions. And that could trivialize a lot of the bosses, which are already easier than Circle of the Moon's anyways. But Circle of the Moon also has very limited amount of potion drops. So what I'm basically saying is Harmony Distance is probably a little easy. And to be fair, most of these games usually are, because they usually do have things like shops. Like people say Symphony of the Night is too easy, and that's a problem with it. And it's not a huge one, but it is a point of criticism, and I think that does extend to Harmony of Dissonance a little bit. So I'm not sure. I think I maybe still like Circle of Moon a little bit more, but
here's the thing. Crazy. They're all good. They're all good. Really good. Yes.
They're all good.
I'm glad to hear you enjoyed it.
I'm upset because I wanted to start Aria of Sorrow, but I'm like, I'm gonna be playing a new Metroid game in 2 days. It's really
close. Yeah, probably not even 2 days. Probably like a night and a half, right?
Yeah. So I really don't want to stop in the middle. So to kill time, I actually was doing the maximum mode in Harmony of Dissonance, and that's a little fun just to mess around with for a bit. while I'm running around. So that's where you play as a different character with
Right.
slightly different moves and stuff like that. So I like it's basically what like Symphony of Night had the mode where you played as Richter Belmont. This is pretty similar there. So good stuff. But
Yep. Like I said, I was traveling. I didn't have much time, but when I did, I was playing Harmony of Distance in the hotel because I knew you were playing it, and I wasn't going to try to keep up with you. So,
well, you didn't because I'm
yep,
better than you.
Yeah, I've accepted this. I know. Yeah, right now, but I mean, honestly, Mike, right now it's just I'm laser focused on.
Yeah, I'm ready.
On Metroid Dread. Now I'm thinking about it. Like, I need to check and make sure my OLEDs are going to get delivered. Like on the 8th. I hope they get delivered on the 8th. That'd be fantastic.
Would you start the game on your normal Switch, or would you wait for the OLED?
I would start it on the normal Switch. I'm not going to wait. I'll just probably because I'll just plug it in. And I'll stream some of it or something, or at least record myself. So I'll come play it over here on the computer or whatever with the Switch I have connected here. And then once the OLED comes, I'll just switch everything over to that and play it on there.
I've also been playing Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl on my Switch.
I'm like, yeah, that game just came out. How's it? How is it?
It's fun. It's weird because it's so much like Smash Bros. That when it isn't, it's almost like off-putting at first.
Sure, yes.
Like so you have 3 attack buttons instead of the 2, and that might make you think, oh, there's more moves, but it's like instead of having the smash attacks where you like push a direction attack button, you just have or like you literally smash it, you just have a different button assigned to those things. So that's a little weird.
Right.
And you don't have dodge rolls, or at least if you do, I can't figure it out, so that's a little different too. But it looks really good if you are like a 90s or 2000s Nickelodeon kid. It's fun. Like I played as Ren Stimpy, and like their victory thing was them doing the happy joy dance.
Okay,
there's a Space Madness level. Right?
Is this on PC? Is it on PC?
I think so. I think so.
If it's on Steam, I'll just get it.
Now it does still have a bit of a budget game feel, just in terms of features. Like
it's a Game Mill game. It's from a company literally called Game Mill, where it's just like, we're just milling these things out. Yeah, so whatever.
Like you can't expect Smash Brothers level polish here because you're not going to get it.
Do not.
Like the fact that characters don't talk, it is just like a little weird. It just reminds you like, oh, there is something budgety about this, but not so much. Like the gameplay is good. It actually looks pretty good. The only issue I have with Switch is load times. The load times are long, but it runs well, so I'm not too upset.
It has a very positive rating on Steam with over 1,200 reviews.
I think people, I wonder how many people are just excited about it. But hey, it's similar to Smash, a little bit different with a lot of other characters that people like. I wonder if this does well, we're going to get like the really good sequel, right? Where they throw more money at it.
Yeah, totally.
I wonder if that's in the cards. But I was playing as April O'Neil lots, and I had fun doing a Reptar actually. So
can you play the game while you're that horny?
Wow. No comment. I mean, I know. I mean, I didn't realize I told you about my feelings for Reptar, but geez.
Yeah, we know. We all know. Yeah.
Wow.
Man, but EA plays right there. Huh? Okay.
It's been really fun. I'm excited to get some friends over and try some multiplayer.
Mike, I do have that meeting come soon. I know you have a meeting soon. So should we start wrapping up?
Yeah. Let's get out of here. So next week, Zelda games. Everyone will be back on Friday with Games We Decide. I think next week we are actually going to start doing this on Tuesdays. I know we said we were going to do that this week, but Jeff was traveling stuff was happening. It's Jeff's fault. All right, everyone. You can find more of me at Twitter on Tolkoto, TOLKOTO. Also check out 90s Disney, my 90s Disney podcast at 90sdisney.com. Jeff.
I'm Jeff Grubb on Twitch, just like my name with no space, just like it is on Twitter, and you can watch me play some other M while we wait for my OLED and Metroid Dread to show up. Join the Discord. It's discord.gg/game mess. The link is in the description. Also, hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube right now. We have 200 people watching. We have 78 likes. Hit that like button. It helps people find the show as we go into the VOD format here pretty soon. But yeah, that pretty much does it. I have How Games Make Money. I got an episode going up soon. Games Beat Decides. Come watch me and Mike on Fridays. And like Mike said, we'll be doing this on Tuesdays going forward. It'll probably be at 9:30 Mountain Time. So what is that? 8:30 a.m. Pacific and 11:30 a.m. Eastern. That'll be the normal time going forward. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.